What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Talking Pigskin Week 9 edition. As always, I'm your host, Kishwar. Last week was pretty rough for me. They didn't have a great pick'em week. Unfortunately, a lot of upsets happened, but as a fan, I loved every second of it. Watching Red Zone and seeing all these upsets unfold every Sunday is quite riveting TV, so I'm not complaining about that. Happy to be wrong in some cases. However, to be wrong about the Jets usually sucks, but this year I expect to be wrong almost every game they had. So how did they do last week? Well, I think they did very well as expected. They hung in with the defending NFC champion all four quarters. They actually had the lead going into fourth quarter. This really sucks as a Jet fan that last three games they blew a lead late in the game, only because they're simply too inexperienced. Even though McCann is a veteran quarterback, but the rest of the team just cannot play up to the level that needs to be played in fourth quarter. It's game time, it's showtime, but these players just too new for that. Hopefully they'll learn from this season, and moving forward next year they'll be much better at it. At 3-5, season is a lot better than most of us expected. So, not complaining about it. They will be playing Buffalo tomorrow night, so let's just dive into Week 9 picks right away. So Thursday Night Football, the New York Jets will be hosting Buffalo Bills tomorrow night. This is going to be a very close game, only because it's a short week. The Bills are traveling. AFC East rivalry is always good to watch. They usually split every single year. So hopefully, I'm going to assume McCown to take care of business at home. However, the Bills just acquired Kelvin Benjamin from the Panthers. Not sure what his status is tomorrow night. However, LaShawn McCoy and the rest of the crew will be ready to go. Tyrod Taylor has been playing very good. And the Buffalo defense, Sean McDermott has those guys balling all year long. Definitely didn't expect that. Even with the loss of Marshall Darius, now he's a Jaguar. Even then, they're still damn good. They actually held Derek Carr in check last week. So with the Jet offense, which actually has a decent passing attack now, we'll see what they do with that. The Jets run game needs to get going. Matt Forte did call the OC out last week after the game. Hopefully he'll get more touches. We'll see. I'll be at the game tomorrow, so hopefully I'll bring them some good luck and hope to see them win. However, I'm going to pick the Bills to win this game in a very close contest. Moving on to Sunday's games, we have the Atlanta Falcons traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Panthers just traded away Kelvin Benjamin, as I previously stated. He's in Buffalo now. Devin Funches automatically becomes the number one target. I'm not sure how that's going to work out for Cam. McCaffrey is going to be heavily involved going forward. As for the Falcons, they escaped with the New York. The only AFC team they managed to beat. Not surprised. But I hope that actually helped them turn the season around. Hopefully they can, get Matt Ryan and Julio Jones going more often and get that offense going. As for the Atlanta defense, they started off fast in the season, but then they slowly started fading away. Hopefully they can get their act together. I just don't think at Carolina they'll be able to do much. I'm going to pick the Panthers to win this game. Moving on to the Indianapolis Colts, traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. Deshaun Watson, what can you say about this man? He has been lights out. I cannot believe he didn't get the start originally week 1 away from Tom Savage. It's weird how Bill O'Brien came to the conclusion that Savage could start the season, but clearly we know who the better quarterback is. This guy is special. The Texans are riding high. They will probably win that division because of him. The defense is as good as advertised. Even with the loss of Cushing and Watt, they still have been very good. As for the Colts, no need to say much about them. They're just like the Jets, can't close out close games. Jacoby Brissett has been solid for them, but just don't have enough playmakers on both sides of the ball to close the game out. So Texans will roll all over them. Moving on to the Cincinnati Bengals taking on Jacksonville. This is going to be a trick game for me to pick because I think Bengals aren't as bad as their record says, and the Jaguars, I'm not sure if this is a trend or this is a blimp. So I'm going to stick with them this week only because Andy Dalton has been getting hit almost every other play, and in comes the Jaguars D-line, where they're also called the Saxonville this year, so they're going to put the heat on him very early in this game. Hopefully that he can stay upright. As far as Jaguars offense, Fournette, not sure what the status is on him, but Bortles, as long as he doesn't mess up the game, the Jaguars will always have a chance. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Jaguars to win this game. Moving on to the Buccaneers at New Orleans. New Orleans are quietly 5-2. Very happy for Drew Brees. He deserves this. Hopefully they can make a run at the Lombardi this year. Their offense is rolling. Defense, believe it or not, last 5 games they have they caused turnovers in each game, so that's a very good sign for them. The defense, which was historically bad last year, definitely turned it around. As for the Buccaneers, hard knocks, all that pressure of being good this year, clearly they're fading away. They can't live up to it. I thought Winston will have a much better year, but that's not the case. That team needs to get it together. Just don't think at the Dome it was the right place for them to turn it around. But hopefully, a couple of weeks from now, they will start winning some games. Not sure what they'll end up in the playoffs, though. But the Saints will win this game. Moving on to Los Angeles Rams taking on the New York Giants. Rams coming off their bye week. West Coast team traveling to East Coast at 1 o'clock. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it millions of times. I don't like that no matter what happens each game. Everyone it's any given Sunday, but I just will never pick a 1 o'clock team traveling to the East Coast and play a 1 o'clock game and to win. So I'm going to pick the Giants only because they're rested. They're coming off a bye. Yeah, their record is 1-6, but Eli Manning is a good quarterback. Even though he's out, he's not playing with his 2 top receivers. I think he could still have a good game with whoever they have right now. I'm not even sure who the receivers are except for Sterling Shepard and Evan Engram only, but he's a tight end. But Rams coming off a bye week, I think will be a letdown for them. Jared Goff is definitely having a good year. I would expect him to have a decent game. I just don't think he can make the play in this game in fourth quarter. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Giants. Shocker right now. Also the upset of the week. Moving on to the Broncos taking on the Eagles. Eagles are simply the best team in the league right now. With the addition of Jay Ajayi, LeGarrette Blount, and they also have Wendell Smallwood. That backfield is going to be brutal. As far as the receiving game, they are just amazing. Aguilar stepped up his game with the addition of Jeffrey, and Torrey Smith is helping him a lot. Carson Wentz, don't know what to say about him. I told everyone beginning of the season he's going to have a Ben Roethlisberger type sophomore year, and he's already on his way to prove it. He is looking darn good, and it's really good to see young quarterbacks make a leap in this league. As far as Broncos, Brock Osweiler is starting. I don't need to say anything else. This game will be a blowout. Eagles all over the Broncos. Moving on to Baltimore Ravens taking on the Tennessee Titans. This is going to be a hard game to pick, but I'm going to go ahead and pick the Titans only because they're home, and Flacco is coming off that vicious hit on him from last Thursday night. Not sure if he's going to be fully healthy to play, but this is going to be very difficult for him to go to Tennessee and try to go toe-to-toe with Marcus Mariota. The Titan offense needs to put more points on the board. DeMarco Murray, Derrick Henry, Eric Decker all need to step up. The defense has been all right. They haven't been pretty bad. So I'm going to trust them to pull this one out. Moving on to the 4 o'clock games, and we have Cardinals taking on the 49ers. Congrats, 49ers. You have a quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo. Don't think he's starting this Sunday. It'll be too early for him to memorize the playbook and go and just play. I believe he's going to start the following week. As far as the Cardinals, Drew Stanton is going to be the quarterback. Not sure how good they're going to be, but just because they're playing the Niners, I'm going to go ahead and pick them. I expect this to be a very close game. It might even go to overtime. The 49ers defense aren't as bad, but the offense needs to step it up. The Cardinals defense has been all right, but without Carson Palmer, AP, and Fitzgerald, I'm not sure how they look at Stanton, but they're going to have to ride with him for as long as Palmer's out. So Cardinals in a close one. Moving on to Redskins and Seahawks. Kirk Cousins didn't have a great game last Sunday. He could have pulled it out against the Cowboys. However, it just was too hard for him in fourth quarter. The Cowboys defense actually woke up. So that kind of backfired on the Redskins. But they still, I think, can go to Seattle and put up some points. Look at Watson, what he did there. Not sure if it will be enough to beat them. Believe it or not, Seattle offense has been very good. Russell Wilson, a special quarterback, as we all know. Jimmy Graham is rolling now. Paul Richardson, they have a new weapon in him. So Seattle is clicking on all cylinders right now. They're going to be scary down the road. So I'm going to pick the Seattle Seahawks to win this game. Moving on to marquee game of the week, which is the Kansas City Chiefs. Traveling to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. It's going to be a very high-scoring game. Both defense are very suspect, even though Chiefs defense had a great game last Monday night. I don't think that continues in Dallas. With Zeke out, that actually helps out many of us fantasy players who play against him because Zeke is almost impossible to tame. He easily puts up 20 points, so I don't have to worry about that. Funny, the guy I'm playing this week actually has him, so I caught a big break there. But Alex Smith and that offense has been rolling, and the Cowboys offense, I want to see how it looks without Zeke. Des Bryant has to be big in this game. Alfred Morris is stepping in place of Elliott, so we'll see how he does. I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win on the road, only because Zeke's out, and that's going to be hard to overcome. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, we have the Raiders traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. I'm pretty sure Jay Cutler's back, but with the Jay Ajayi puzzling trade, Kenyon Drake will be the starting running back. Not sure how that will work out for them. I believe Derek Carr will come into town and decimate this Dolphin defense. The Raiders, this is a must-win game for them. At 3-5, they're not looking so great. They should not have the same record as the Jets because clearly they have a much better team. I believe the Raiders will come to Miami and take care of business and beat the Dolphins. Moving on to Monday night, we have the Detroit Lions traveling to Green Bay to take on the Packers. It's a really sad situation to see the Packers play without Aaron Rodgers. They're simply not the same. Brett Hundley, it's just not as good. Just putting it in a nice way. I don't think they will have any shot against the Lions. Matthew Stafford threw for 400 yards, but no touchdown last week. But I think that changes. Him and Golden Tate will have a big game, and the Lions will roll all over the Packers. So, lock of the week will most likely be, let's see, I'll go with, why not, the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville taking on the Bengals, only because Dalton cannot see protection at all this year. So that's going to hurt him most likely. And for upset of the week, we'll go with the Giants taking out the Rams. So hopefully I'll have a much better week than last week. Let me know what you guys think about these picks. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share, pass it along to anyone you want. Let me know what you guys think of these picks. And I will see you guys next week with Week 10 picks. Can't believe it's already Week 10, but catch you then.